Hi, and thank you for taking time from your day to watch this video and maybe even participate in this yoga session. I'm Charlotte from Vintage Yoga and Whole Body Health International. And the sequence that I've created today is designed with postures that will support the Svadhisthana chakra, which is the second chakra, and it is located in the lower abdominal area from the pelvic floor up to about the navel. So all of this area through here is where the Svadhisthana chakra lives. And so today we're going to have some movements that, like I said, are designed to support and stimulate this chakra. I invite you to stay with me at the end. I have a special invitation for you, and also would like to just talk a little bit more about the chakras and the project that I'm working on. So we'll start here in this seated position. Just find whatever feels comfortable for you. Try to notice the feeling of your mat under your body, feeling that connection to the earth. And then just take a moment to slow down, maybe shrug off some of the tension or stress or worries of your day, or maybe of what's to come in your day, depending on what time you're watching this. And just start to notice your breath. And just notice where maybe you're holding tension. I happen to notice that it's in my hands. Sometimes we carry tension without realizing it. And movement, which is an important aspect of the Svadhisthana chakra, is a good way to help release that tension. Notice how sometimes when you feel tension in your neck, you roll your head around. Okay, so just noticing anywhere that there's tension, perhaps breathing into that space. And when you're ready, we're just going to start a simple torso rotation. You can go in whatever direction your body is inclined to move. And so you're just rolling it all the way around as if you had a point on the top of your head and you're drawing a circle on the ceiling. And just noticing where you feel that. Maybe you feel a little extra stretch in one part of the movement. Maybe you feel some tightness there. And then we'll just take it in the other direction. And you can do this as many times as you feel inclined. There's no rules. That's one of the things that I find very enjoyable about yoga. Is I don't take it too terribly seriously, hopefully not too little, but I like to just explore what my body wants to do, what it feels like doing. And then when I finish a posture or a movement, I like to just notice what that feels like. We're going to come on to hands and knees this time. And one of the things you'll notice is that many of the moves that we do today are creating movement here in that chakra area, the Svadhisthana chakra. And so here we're going to engage in a little cat-cow, which is something I'm sure if you've practiced yoga, you're familiar with. We want to make sure that our shoulders are above the wrist and our hips are above the knees. So we don't want the hands too far out or the knees too far back. We're making a nice tabletop posture here, taking an inhale And on the exhale, scoop the spine toward the ceiling into our cat. And then on the inhale, moving into the cow. And noticing where that movement is starting and finishing. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cow. And you could do this 3 to 5 breaths, or as many breaths as it feels good for you. Inhale into cow, letting the belly sweep toward the floor, and exhale into cat, arching, pressing through the hands. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. And now come back to a neutral position, still on the hands and knees. And this time we're going to do something, I'm not even sure if it's really a yoga posture, but it's one that you often see. It's called bird dog. So we're going to reach one arm out in front, and the opposite leg is going to come up. And on the exhale, we're going to draw our knee and our elbow together. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, draw the elbow to the knee. Inhale and exhale. You may notice that this challenges your balance, and that's okay. If you wobble or you fall over, no worries. You just get back up and keep going. Keeping strong through those 2 limbs that are still on the floor. Let's do that one more time. Reach and exhale. Draw the elbow to the knee, and then come back to that tabletop position, and we'll do the other side. So we inhale as we reach, and we exhale. Draw the elbow to the knee. Inhale and exhale. Feeling the strength that's created as you draw that elbow and that knee together, working those muscles in the lower abdominal area. Very nice. Let's do that one more time. Very good. And the one thing I forgot to mention, if you have some blocks, those will be nice to have. And also, this is not necessary, but if you have trouble with your knees, sometimes it's nice to have a little pad there. And I'm going to place that under my knee. And I'm facing the long end of my mat right now, okay? This pose is called gate pose, and we will take one leg out toward the short end of our mat. Inhale the arms up, exhale hands to prayer, and then we'll create some movement here. So we'll have one hand on the extended leg, the other hand is operating freely. We'll inhale as we reach across, sliding the other hand down the leg to exhale. Inhale, we'll transition, bringing the free hand to the floor and exhaling here. Inhale in the transition. Exhale, squeeze in the opposite direction. Inhale and exhale into that posture. Feeling a nice long stretch. Inhaling back. Again, feeling that stretch on your outer body. Inhale, transition. And exhale, stretch here. One more time, both sides. Exhaling in the reach. Inhale. All the way. And then inhale all the way back to your starting position. Draw that leg in, and let's take the other leg out. Again, letting the foot be parallel with the end of the mat. Inhale the hands up. Feeling some balance there. Exhale the hands to heart. And now let's bring our hands into our starting position. One hand goes on the leg that's extended, other hand is free. We inhale up, Exhale as we squeeze into that position. Inhale, transition. Exhale, squeeze and reach. Very nice. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze and reach. Maybe you notice that this side feels a little different, and that's okay. It's normal to be a little bit more tight on one side than the other. Let's go again, one more time, each direction. Inhaling in the transition, exhaling for the reach. And inhale back to neutral. Draw that knee in. And now from here, we'll stand up. So you can just push your little mat out of the way if you had one. This might chop my head off for just a minute, but not very long. So we'll start here in a nice little mountain pose, but we won't stay there very long. We're going to take a nice wide stance here on the mat. We'll inhale the arms up, turn the toes outward just a bit, and as you exhale, you're going to come into a nice little goddess pose. Feeling a nice stretch here on the inner thigh, bringing the scapula together on the back, and taking a nice inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to reach with the left arm, inhale back to center, and exhale, reach with the left arm. Good. We're just going to practice that. Notice you're really working some strength on the inner thigh. Maybe you're feeling it in your glutes. Yeah, getting a little burn perhaps in your quadriceps. Stay there as long as you can. And if it feels like you need to just step out of it, all you have to do is rise up. Give yourself a little break. Let's come back down for just a couple more. Good. There's one. And one more time each side. Here's 2 and 2. Very nice. Coming back to our goddess pose, and then heel toe your feet back together, hands to heart. Very good. Probably feeling a little heat all through this center area of your body. Getting that fire built up. Okay. So we're coming back out to our wide stance. This time, we'll turn the left foot toward the end of the mat. The right foot's going to come about halfway. It's not going to completely go toward the end of the mat. And we'll take the right arm, rise it up as we turn our body toward the end of the mat. This is called Parivrtta. Oh my goodness. Total blank. We'll call it revolved triangle because I just drew a blank. So inhale the arm up, gazing up at the hand. Exhale, dropping the hand down toward the mat. And this is where you might want that block that I mentioned earlier. Bring the block around. And if you don't have a block, you could use perhaps a chair, or if you're near a sofa or something like that, you just using it for a little bit of extra support. So let's try that again. Inhaling the arm up, exhaling forward, bringing that hand to the block or to the floor or a chair, wherever you all happen to be on this day, and then lifting the left hand up, turning to gaze towards your left hand. And we stay here for 3, 2, and 1, and then sweep that left hand down, bend the front knee, and rise up. That one was a little bit challenging, especially if you've never done it before. So we'll take it nice and slow. We're going to turn in the other direction, okay? And so we have our right leg forward, so we'll bring our left arm overhead, gaze up at the hand, exhale. Maybe you have a block ready for yourself. Exhale as you drop down, and inhale as you lift that right arm toward the ceiling and looking up at the right hand. For 1, and 2, and 3, and then let that right arm swoop down, bending the knee and pushing yourself back up to that neutral position, wide stance. Let's try that one more time. See if it feels a little bit better for you. Left foot toward the end of the mat. Turn your body toward the end of the mat. Right arm sweeps up, looking at the hand. Exhale as you fold forward. Maybe you're coming down to a block. Inhale as you lift the left arm. And gaze at the left hand. For 1, and 2, and 3. Swoop the arm down, bring it up, bending the knee to help push yourself up. And we come back to neutral for a nice deep breath. Turn toward the other end of the mat. Right leg is forward this time, so we inhale the left arm up, gazing at the hand. Exhale as we reach and fold forward. Maybe we're coming to the block, maybe we're coming to the floor. Right arm comes up, and we twist to look at the right hand. For 1, and 2, and 3. Right hand down and back, sweeping past the knee that's bending, inhaling, and coming up. Now, if that was challenging for you, that's okay. Maybe it's your first time doing a revolved triangle, Parivrtta Trikonasana. See, I knew it would come back to me. And actually, it was a little bit challenging for me today too. So some days we're a little stronger than other days. Some days we're a little more flexible. And that's why we practice. All right. So next thing we're going to do is an extended triangle. So again, we're going to turn our foot toward the end of the mat, the short end of the mat. We'll inhale the right arm overhead. Exhale as we bend that front knee, letting the elbow drop to that knee and reaching the right arm overhead, gazing either past your armpit. When I go past my armpit, I lose my balance, or your elbow. But just kind of turning your head, looking up toward the ceiling. And we stay for 1, and 2, and 3. And then we sweep that arm around, making a big circle, pressing up through the front leg, and come back to the front. And now we turn to the other side of the mat. This time, we'll inhale the right arm up, and exhale as we bring that right elbow to the right knee. Left arm goes overhead, and we gaze up toward the ceiling, past our elbow or maybe our armpit. For 2, and 3. Take that upper arm, sweep it all the way around, make a nice big circle, and then come back to center. Very nice. How did that feel? That is extended triangle. Let's try it again. And when you're in this position, you can stay as long as you want. So once you learn the routine, stay there as long as you'd like. So we inhale, left arm up. Exhale as we bend the front knee, left elbow to left knee. Inhale the right arm. It makes a big circle, and then it comes up overhead. This is extended triangle, feeling a nice stretch through the top of your upper part of your body. Now, reverse it. Take that arm, that top arm, make a big circle, coming around, pressing up through that bent leg, and again, coming to the front. Let's turn, meet the other end of the mat. Remember to turn that back foot just a little bit. Front foot is parallel to the long side of the mat. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, bending the right knee. Right elbow comes to right knee. Reaching the left arm overhead, gazing past your elbow. For 3, and 2, And one, enjoying that nice stretch. Make a big circle with that left arm, sweeping and pushing up as you come. Very nice. And from here, hands will go to the hips, keeping the feet wide, the outside of the feet parallel to the end of your mat. Take a big inhale, look up at the ceiling. Exhale as you hinge at the hip, and you come into a nice wide forward fold, letting your hands come either to the floor, to the mat, maybe to your knees, blocks, whatever feels right for your body on this day is all I'm asking of you. Let your head relax and just stay here for a moment, enjoying that stretch in the back side of your legs, enjoying that refreshing break, just getting to inhale and exhale, filling your body with fresh air, oxygen. And from here, if you will, place your hands on the mat right in front of you, and then walk your hands around to one end as you turn your body to that end. And we're going to step back into a plank. Now, if a full plank is too much for you today, always you can drop your knees to the floor. And so all we're going to do is just lower ourselves down onto our belly. Bring your legs together. Let your toes point. And imagine that you are a serpent. Yes, you are the cobra. Your hands are going to be placed right next to your chest. Elbows are pointed toward the ceiling. We're going to take a nice inhale. Exhale right here. And then on the next inhale, we're going to lift the chest up off the floor, pressing through the hands as much as you need to. And then exhale, coming all the way back down. Inhale, lifting up again. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's do that for 2 more breaths. Imagine that your toes are pointing in the opposite direction. All of your back body is nice and strong. And then on the last exhale, just come all the way down. Let your forehead rest on your hands. If it feels good, maybe just wag your body back and forth, side to side. And then take a moment just to breathe. And from here, we'll push ourselves up and just turn over. We're not going anywhere except right onto our back. Maybe you'll have your knees bent, grab a hold of your knees, and just let yourself down nice and easy. Take a moment to breathe. Feel the support of the earth underneath of you. Feel maybe the pull of gravity. I always think that's pretty cool, the way that feels when you first lay down. You just feel that pull. And so from here, bring the bottom of your feet together. Draw your heels toward your bottom. And let the knees just kind of fall out to the side. And then maybe you can bring your arms up into a goddess pose. Use your little goddess arms. Perhaps lift yourself up. Let your shoulder blades tuck up underneath of you. And then just relax here for a few breaths. And notice what you feel. Maybe you notice a difference in your hips. Perhaps one side is a little bit tighter than the other. Maybe it's the same situation in your shoulders. Maybe one side is a little looser than the other. See if you can completely relax your body. Just do a little mental scan and notice any place where you're holding tension in your body. Maybe you breathe into that space, and as you exhale, perhaps you notice a little bit of release in that area. Maybe letting go a little bit of tension. And then exhaling again and letting go a little more. And now bring your hands to your thighs or your knees, just somewhere that you can give yourself a little assist, and press your knees back together so that your big toe joints are touching, maybe your ankles and your knees are touching. And now we're just going to do a little pelvic rock. And all that means is that we'll draw our belly in toward the floor, press our low back into the floor as our hips come ever so slightly. So we're not lifting our body off the floor. We're going to keep our low back in contact with the floor. We're drawing our belly down towards the floor, pressing the low back in, and maybe that pubic bone, you feel it pressing up. And then we're going to release that and press our belly toward the ceiling as we exhale. And then we'll inhale. Oh, hold on, I think I have my breath backwards. I can tell it doesn't feel right. We're going to exhale here as we press our low back into the floor. And inhale, pressing our belly toward the ceiling. Exhale, low back presses into the floor. Inhale, and exhale. Let's do that 3 more breaths. 3 nice long breaths. There's 1. And 2. And our last exhale for number 3. And then just relax. And let the left leg slide out, and then the right leg slide out. So both legs are straight, maybe about the width of the mat apart. Coming into Svadhisthana, the final resting pose. And this is that time when we get to just totally surrender and appreciate and enjoy the sensations that our body feels for the work that we just did. Once again, scanning for tension. I'm always reminded of that when I happen to notice. So, breathing into those tight, tense spaces and exhaling that tension away. This capacity to release stress anytime is always a simple breath away. It's just a matter of remembering in those tense moments to just take that little deeper breath and that little long exhale. Sometimes it happens naturally and we're not even aware of it. But when we become aware, it's even more powerful than just that big breath that we take in exasperation of the situation. And when you're ready, take a nice big inhale. Sigh the breath out. Let's do that again. A big inhale. And sigh the breath out. And now maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes. Perhaps little ankles, circles and wrist circles. Bring your feet back onto the mat, bending your knees. Doing whatever feels right for your body. And then just moving over to one side, bringing yourself back up. Coming to a seated position. Once again, nice big inhale. And an exhale. One more time. Inhale the hands to heart. Bowing the head. With gratitude for our body and the time that we took to tune our body into our sacral chakra area. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. And as I mentioned, I invite you to stick around for just a minute because I have a couple of things I'd like to share with you. I have two invitations. The first is if you would like a copy of this sequence, all you have to do is send me a message and I will send you a PDF of the sequence. This one is a 3-page. I used a bigger line scheme today because sometimes it's hard for me to see those little things. And I'm just one of those people, I like to have a written plan. I'm not very good at remembering, and that's okay. I know it's a weakness on my part, and so I like to have it in front of me just to help me remember. Second invitation is so one of the things that I'm struggling with right now is consistency with my practice. And when we try to do it alone, I think that makes things a little bit more challenging. So I'm inviting you to practice with me every day for the next 30 days until I release the third chakra sequence, which will happen at the end of April. I decided to release them at the end of each month so that I have time to talk about the chakra through my blog and some of the posts. And then at the end of the month, when I present the sequence, then maybe do like a quick little review, which I'm going to do in just a moment. And So I'm inviting you to practice with me for the next 30 days, and or 31, whatever we happen to have between now and the end of April. And I'm going to be posting about that regularly on my Facebook page. So just to help me be accountable, I'm going to be sharing with you when I do the practice.